Hey, what's up? You like Airfix and you like board games? Maybe this is a video for you. I just recently picked these up because I've been interested in starting to collect more than just Airfix toy soldiers that I've been doing for quite a while. One of the reasons for this is I bought this book a while back, The Other Side of Airifx by Arthur Ward, and I got kind of inspired by this one to start looking through what else I could get from Airfix that would be fun to collect. And there's also this one by Jeremy Brook, 40 Years of Airfix Toys. That's also a very good reference. I'll put links in the description, or not links, I put the names of the authors and the names of the books in the description. Yeah, and also picked this up recently. I think this is actually a trade catalog from 1976 for Airfix Toys. Some of them I actually had myself that are not toy soldiers in here. So I just more and more wanted to start collecting all different things. And as me and my son plays a lot of board games, we figured I'd get these two, because I've been looking at these, like I said, for a long time on eBay. And I just figured, why not? I found a couple that are in decent condition. So we're gonna play through this. I'm gonna do a little review on the gameplay and also just show you all the parts and everything up close so you can see how cool they look. But yeah, let's just start. So now we finally had the time to play both of these games to try them out. And I gotta say, it's kind of like this. It's one up and one down. Let's start with one that we didn't like so much first, which is air traffic control. But the box art is super, super cool. And it's huge. So it kind of promises a lot, but it doesn't really live up to the hype if you want. But the box is really, really cool. The game board is kind of cool. There's not that much difference though, unfortunately, between the two airports. They're the same, but when you approach here, this is supposed to be a transatlantic flight, right? So when you approach here, I guess this is New York, because you got like a Statue of Liberty here, and I guess that would be the coast of England. Other than that, these are the same. The little airplanes are pretty neat. You have stands for them, but when you're on, for instance, takeoff or you're in the terminal, they're supposed to be on the ground. And then when you're on the, I guess these are kind of like light purple, pink, you're supposed to be at 15,000 feet, right? And then when you're on the yellow, you are supposed to be at 30,000 feet. There's no game mechanics for this that makes any difference whatsoever. And then you also have this little emergency thing here that's just supposed to add like this. We never got around to using this because we only played through it once and didn't really want to bother with playing it anymore. Game mechanics is kind of like snakes and ladders. You roll a die. You have one that's for the pilot that has from 1 to 3 on it. Air traffic controller has a regular die 1 to 6. Before you start playing also, one of the players or someone separate is supposed to be the air traffic controller. Yeah, so snakes and ladders, you roll the die, you land on a square and you read what's there. And this is what they think is going to make the game super extra cool, right? So you have the controller's instructions. And you're supposed to use the phonetic alphabet, take the letters from your name and translate it into this. So I'm Jerry, so that would be Juliet, and then for my last name as well. And then you're supposed to, when you land on any square, you're supposed to call in to the air traffic controller, even though it doesn't have a function. So it gets kind of tedious doing that all the time. We ended up doing that just for a short while and then we skipped that. So you move along and then you get to one of these areas with a number on it. And then that's where the air traffic controller comes in. He has separate instructions. And then let's say if you land on 1, the air traffic controller is supposed to roll a 6-sided die to see which event happens. Like if you roll a 3, 4, and 5, clear for takeoff, over, proceed directly, blah, blah, blah. And you're supposed to repeat that with all the handles and everything. Doesn't really perform any other functions than landing on anywhere else on the board. It just puts it in the rule book instead. And then when you're on the number 6, you also have these cards, which are just also, again, little events that could just be from the board as well. There's no difference. So there's no real game mechanics in this, how to win it by using strategy and stuff like that. You just roll the die and you keep moving and see what happens. maybe back in the 70s this was fun. Before you had all the computer games and stuff, this is kind of exciting. Not many people been maybe on an airplane in 1975 even. So maybe it feels like you're part of the new technology or something. But yeah, as far as the game, we didn't like it all that much. But as far as the collectible, it's really, really cool. If you set the board up with one of the airports with the planes, I think it would really cool. And you could play it, I guess, just for fun, just to goof around, having a beer or something like that. But yeah, not that great of a game, but a cool collectible though. The other game though, this one. Fighter Command. This is the cool one. Not that great of a game either, but still, it's more fun at least anyways. And the box promises a lot, and I think it actually, you know, lives up to the hype. And the whole family down here is having a lot of fun, right? And this artwork is super cool. This has actually, you can actually use some strategies in this game. Not that much, but at least some. Anyways, the game starts off with that your airplanes on your side are on the runway or in the little holding spots here, whatever you want to call them. And then when you get shot down, you actually end up in one of the craters here. You also have a little AA gun here that you can actually place on your side of the board to shoot. Other than that, the things on the board here, the balloons, if you fly through these, you crash. If you land on this one, the exploding Messerschmitt, you actually explode. In clouds, you're in cover from the enemy, and in the sun as well. The only thing we didn't like about this was that you have to roll a 6 on the die to actually get to put one of the planes on the board. I think you should just do every other turn and get the game going, because it took my son like 20 rolls to even get a 6. I had 5 of my planes on the board already then. But other than that, the little strategy you can do is that you roll the die and you move your plane according to what you get. So if I get a 3, I move 1, 2, 3. But then I get to place it in any direction I want. So if I'm thinking he's not going to move that one and I'm hoping to get a 1, 2, 3, 4, because if you land on the same spot as your enemy, it's shot down, right? Ends up in the crater. So at least you can move the planes around like that, and also you can choose if you have plenty of planes or all your planes on the board, you can choose what plane you want to use. And the little AA gun, you can put in one of these 3 spots, and you can choose to shoot with that one when you roll the die instead of moving one of the planes. So you don't have to predetermine what plane you're going to move before you roll. You do that afterwards. So it's kind of cool. We had fun actually. We were laughing about it because we were getting desperate towards the end. You know, you're moving around and then you overshoot and you get too low of a number on the die. So it was kind of fun, silly, funny, easy to set up, easy to start. Game is over in 5 minutes, maybe 10 at the most. So you can play multiple times. And also this one, I think, set up as a collectible on the shelf or something, whatever. It looks super cool, right? Imagine getting this as a kid and having these simple kind of a mechanics and just the basic strategies when you're 7, 8 years old. I think it would be super cool. And also the rule book is just a sheet of paper. You have how you set it up, and then on the other side you have how you play it. Can't get much easier than that, and I think that's why I like this one the most. But you know, they're readily available on eBay in different conditions. They're not that much money. If you're going to buy one to play, buy Fighter Command. If you're going to buy them to collect, get either one, because they're both really pretty games and pretty boxes to have set up. Yeah, I'm going to try to get some more Airfix games in the future and try to play and see if they're fun and see how all the little parts look. But that's it for this video, I should say. And hopefully I catch you guys in another video. Cheers.